Welcome to Scambaiting Emails. A few people have commented on the ludicrous references I tend to make when corresponding with a scammer. I refer to these as Easter eggs, and I almost never know which ones tickle our audience. If somehow I manage to say something that you really enjoy, one of the inside jokes that you and I get, but which so far have eluded the scammers, I'd love to hear about it in your comments. Also, if you do enjoy these videos, I'll really appreciate it if you'll go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Today's scambaiting encounter takes a surprising turn when I discover one of the scammer's relatives might have killed one of my relatives. It all begins with this email from Kendall Purvis. My name is Mr. Kendall Purvis. I am your delivery agent conveying your ATM MasterCard worth the sum of $18 million US. I am just arriving at Chicago International Airport. With your fund, you are required to provide me with all your information, and you are required to pay the sum of $1,500 for your delivery fee and shipment fee. Below are the information needed from you, and then he asks me to provide my personal details, which really are none of his business. Nearest airport, home address, valid ID card, valid phone number. You are required to get back to me before the next 24 hours with the payment slip and your full information. Pick up this information and make the payment. Receiver's name, Sharon K. Lee, country, USA, city, Houston, Texas, amount $1,500, send through Western Union or MoneyGram and attach the payment to me here. He's just arrived at Chicago International Airport, which I guess has changed its name from O'Hare Airport, but what does that have to do with me? Dear Kendall Purvis, I think you accidentally sent this email to the wrong address. I live approximately 1,200 miles from Chicago. I also don't have a MasterCard. I charge everything either to my Discover card or to my S&H Green Stamps card, and I don't wish to apply for a MasterCard, too. I also don't know anyone named Sharon K. Lee. I thought I should let you know so that you can double-check the email address you were trying to contact. In sincerity, Rob, or as my friends call me, Rob McClin. Kendall Purvis replies fairly promptly. Dear McClin, well, at least this one begins more personally with my name. In a recent meeting held with the new FBI director concerning debt reconciliation, this is to inform you that we have agreed to release your fund worth $18 million, which will come via Global Automatic Teller Machine Debit MasterCard as instructed from our headquarters by Christopher Wray, Director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, FBI. All you will do now is to pick up the information and make the payment so that your delivery will recommending immediately. Best regard, Dear Kendall Purvis, I do not understand. 1 hour after I replied to your original email telling you somehow sent it to the wrong person, you respond by sending me a shorter version of essentially the same message as the first. If you have a secretary or somebody handling your email correspondence for you, they're doing a lousy job of it and wasting everyone's time, including mine and yours. I strongly suggest you fire that person unless they belong to such a strong union that you're not allowed to. P.S. Your family doesn't happen to come from South Carolina, does it? If it does, which I don't know, do you have a deceased ancestor named Mel? He might be known to your family members as Uncle Mel. I ask because you apparently work for the FBI, and my uncle was none other than John H. Dillinger. That would be one heck of a coincidence, you can say that again. Encouragingly, his reply is devoid of confusing boilerplate language and adopts a more conversational tone. Hello, good morning, and how are you doing today? We're sorry for not explaining in details. Well, what we mean is that you have an outstanding fund with United States Veterans Admiration Board Management since 2019, and the then management has refused to release it to you. But luckily for you, a new management has resumed the office on May 8, 2022, and has decided to pay off all the outstanding fund to the rightful owners, and that is why we have contacted you to deliver your fund to you. You only need to pay $1,500, only after which we will deliver your fund to you without any delay. Please feel free to ask questions where you feel you did not understand. That certainly is more friendly and more personal than his previous messages, and I happily reply in a similarly friendly and personal tone. Good morning, Kendall. Today is going pretty well, except that the town has stopped all residential water service until 7 p.m. each day thanks to the drought. So, no watering the lawn or taking a bath or washing dishes or anything until after 7 p.m., which is kind of a hassle, even though I realize it's a worldwide problem that affects more than just my neighborhood. I wish it would rain down and moisten the earth, but I guess that's just the way it is. People think that if you live in Florida, every day is just another day in paradise, but it's been dry for so long that the local Green River has dried up, and as a joke, we've begun greeting each other, "Have you ever seen the rain?" instead of "hello" or "howdy." Anyway, thank you for attempting to explain what's going on with your emails to me. But like I said before, I am certain you are writing to the wrong person. I am not a veteran, although I have great respect for the brave men and women who were unable to avoid the draft. I wanted to join the Marines, which is the very toughest branch of our fighting services, but was rejected because I have sand spurs. So, as much as I could use the money, who couldn't? It sounds as though the Veterans Admiration Board management's management back in 2019 made a big mess of things. What bothers me is that somewhere, someone is supposed to receive such an outstanding fund, but isn't. What is the full, complete name of the person you're trying to reach? If their surname is McLen or McLen, it might be a relative of mine whom I can help you identify if I knew their name. P.S. Did you see my question in my previous email that I sent earlier about whether you are related to Mel Purvis? Considering my own family background, that would be pretty cool in a weird way, the kind of thing someone could make a movie about. Please do let me know if Melvin, is on your family tree. If he is, probably we could make a lot of money selling the rights to our story to a film studio in Hollywood. Larry Mondello, head of production at Disney, is a childhood friend of mine, and I know he would gladly hear any pitch we work up in an effort to get a movie made. Oh, and any other information you have about the person you're trying to reach, so I can help identify them for you. Kendall cheerfully responds, "Hello, and have a beautiful day. I could not get back to you earlier than now because I want to be sure I am contacting the right person over this fund. And all files proofs you're the true beneficiary to this fund, and I want you to grab this opportunity with all faith. Without doubts, and to make sure everything is true, kindly provide me with your below information to enable me cross-check and get back to you. Provide your full name, home address, cell phone, occupation, and age. I look forward to hear from you soon." Now, if there are two qualities I am famous for, one of them is my patience, and mine seems to have run out. Dear Kendall Purvis, because of the demands of your job working for the FBI, I understand you are very busy. Twice now, however, on May 17 and again on May 18, I have asked you about your possible family relationship to Mel Purvis, and twice now you have ignored my question. While I might be interested in working with you in the debt reconciliation project, first I need to see that you are able and willing to communicate with me as needed. Please look at my emails of May 17 and May 18 and address the questions included in the PS to each message. That really is not very much to ask for, but if you don't wish to pay me the courtesy of responding to my questions, then you are not the type of person I wish to work with. I must have good and prompt communication with anyone I work with, regardless of the type or size of the project. Please answer those questions so that we can make progress in a forward direction with your project. Hello and good morning to you. I am sorry for not answering your question all this while. I have been very busy with works trying to make sure that other beneficiaries gets their funds. Regards to your question, no, I am not related to Mel Purvis. He must be a very close friend to you. Can we talk more about how to complete your delivery to your home address? Kindly reply as soon as possible. Dear Kendall Purvis, I am disappointed to learn that Melvin Purvis was not a relative of yours. Purvis is such an unusual name that, well, you know. Good Lord, no, Mel Purvis is not a very close friend to me. He famously shot and killed a relative of mine many years ago. You mentioned a meeting recently with the FBI director. I thought maybe that indicated you too are an FBI agent, as was Mr. Purvis all those years ago. It would have been kind of weird for the two of us to be working together if indeed he was a relative of yours, like the Hatfields and the real McCoys suddenly burying the hatchet and joining their fortunes to purchase a Taco Bell franchise together. Regarding the delivery you mentioned, As much as it would be nice to have 18 million US dollars, as I previously stated in an earlier email to you before this one, I am not a U.S. veteran and therefore would not qualify for funds from the Veterans Administration. It sounds as though someone made some sort of clerical error and put my name where someone else's should be. The thought of some brave veteran who so valiantly served our country being deprived of money that should go to him or her haunts me. What can I do to help you identify the correct recipient of those funds? P.S. Are you still at Chicago International Airport? After waiting 10 days for a response, I send him a gentle reminder. Dear Kendall Purvis, when should I expect delivery of my funds to my home address? You said you are at the airport in Chicago. I am still confused by that because that is so far away from where I live. It also sounded like you came to Chicago to deliver my funds to me. Will you actually be delivering them yourself, or will you send them to my home address? I would think that simply sending the funds to me would be much easier for you, but maybe there are aspects of the delivery process that I am not aware of. Thanks again. You have to admit, I was as friendly and gracious as anyone could be, so of course I expect an immediate apologetic and informative reply. Instead, I am advised that Kendall Purvis's email account has been disabled. I sure hope none of my more grudge-holding relatives found him and lured him to a nearby 7-Eleven and got the revenge by throwing him into the back of a van and taking him to a waterfront late at night and disposing of his body by stuffing it into a barrel and dropping it into the water so that it would float out to sea and never be discovered. Or, for any conspiracy theorist watching this video, perhaps his email account was shut down when Google discovered he's a scammer. Off the record, I do suspect one or more hot-headed relatives of mine were involved in Kendall Purvis's mysterious disappearance, but I guess we'll never know for sure. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel so you'll know whenever I've added a new Scambaiting email video. If you'll be kind enough to comment below on your reactions to this video or to any Easter eggs you particularly enjoyed, I promise to make sure Rob sees it. It's been an honor to share this Scambaiting adventure with you. In sincerity and on behalf of Rob McClellan.